Matt, it's been a wild night for us. Just joining ACOB. I know it's been a wild week for you. Thanks for answering the call. Through a friend, you sent a request that you'd be willing to come on and speak with us, and we appreciate your time, dude.
First of all, I just want to say thank you guys. I did not get the chance to watch the live stream with Crystal, but my understanding is from hearing from other people, you are being very fair-minded and open to hearing everything. And I appreciate.
I don't know the story, dude. I don't know the whole story yet. So
I would say you guys are the first ones. We've reached out to a couple different people who have been chasing this story, and you're the first ones who've actually expressed interest in hearing our side. I will say, outside of Ryan, I know
much longer than I expected last night. So
yeah.
So yeah, man. Like we kind of toss this around. You know, everybody becomes amateur, professional. Sleuths on this sort of thing. There's only so much out there. Is it fair to say, like, just wait to see all the? We boiled it down to, like, we need receipts at this point, right? Because you can come on here, Matt, and you're going to defend your company to the death, obviously, and so is Crystal, and so is everybody else. But it's like, until we get receipts, which we're in a world now where footprints are everywhere, more so than ever in the history of Earth. I feel like that's going to help clarify some of this, hopefully.
Yep, that's the goal. And I need to be a little careful in that same topic. My attorney, I was on the phone with prior to, and he was not super thrilled about the idea of coming on here, because we want to be careful to be accurate. I don't want this is a very emotional situation, and the emotional toll that this has taken on the franchise system as a whole has been inordinate. Is the word. There are 300 franchisees in the system across the country, moms and dads who are small business owners, who are getting absolutely hammered, undeservedly, and who are facing serious and significant death threats and abuse, and that needs to stop.
For sure. And would you say that is what finally got you? Because you guys have remained silent. Is it fair to say it kind of took that to finally get you guys to kind of speak on it a little more? And you're kind of like, okay, this is affecting.
The court of public opinion is a difficult place to live, because everybody wants an immediate answer. And I have a statement I can read that was prepared at the advice of counsel. I can go through some of this stuff and talk some of those things. I don't want to get into the back and forth on.
You don't have to, Matt. But can I ask you to just be you, be a dude as much as the statement?
I would try so hard.
You can say what you can't talk about, but like prepared statements, we've been reading them all night. I just want to talk to you as a guy to guy, whatever you want to call it, and to say, like, where are you guys at on this thing? Is like, are you willing to say, like, this was kind of botched, not handled the best? I mean, it's gotten to this level. Or do you feel like, stick to your guns, you guys have done the best job at this? And where are you at on that? Just all the side stuff aside, you wish you handled it a little differently at this point?
I think what I would say to that is, and you're gonna hate this, because I want to be so like cavalier and just tell you everything I'm thinking and feeling.
Sure.
But there are, like, the statements we put out on our website. That is what I would stand by 100%.
Okay.
And so what we said there, and the statements we made, the facts that we put forth, we stand 100% by those. Now, do you mind if I do have some things I can share if you guys are interested?
If it's new.
Yeah.
If it's new. Yeah. Because we just went over your whole, in fairness, we went over all your releases and everything. We just want to keep people up to date as possible. So.
Let me give me one sec here, pull something up. This is super impromptu and I'm not terribly prepared. So
neither are we. That's how we.
Yeah, I'm just here.
Welcome to ACOB. We come up with a thumbnail. I DM people, and I say if they show up, and then we say things. I mean, quite frankly, that's what we do around here. So.
Yeah. So the new fact of the matter is that we just received a judge just granted a temporary restraining order in this case against Ben Schneider, Mansell, and the rest of the group there.
Okay.
The hurdle to clear a temporary restraining order, and I'm happy to share that order with you guys tonight if you'd like to see. But the hurdle to clear for that is a very high bar. Essentially, pointing out to the judge that the evidence that we have provided to the court is very clear and very how do I put this? There's a very high probability and likelihood of us succeeding based on the evidence we provided. So happy to share those details with you guys, go into some of that if you would like. But again, we are trying to do things the right way and go through this the appropriate way. There's been a lot that has happened. And so again, if you guys want it, I'm happy to review that with you. I can read through kind of what that means and discuss some of that side of it. But that is a significant hurdle, and that has been communicated to Crystal and her attorneys as well. So that is something that they got to abide by.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I guess I have a question. I don't know how off topic it is, but it's obviously pertaining to the whole thing. But I had a friend earlier today recommend or say, like, hey, what BAM could have done. It kind of more goes back to Sean's, like, what could have been done differently. Is that corporate in a perfect world could have just paid Brian what was worth, and then figured out kind of who was actually at fault for what was where on the collection afterwards. And so that I was like, actually, that's a really good suggestion. I actually really like that. And I hope I have the opportunity. And here's the opportunity, of course, to kind of present that to somebody of like meaningful importance. I was like, I like that. I wish maybe I had gone that way for Brian, of course, of all people, because I'd known him a little bit prior. And so yeah, I just kind of presenting that idea. I don't know how crazy that sounds to you. Of like, hey, now it's our problem to deal with the other actors, but that at least gets Brian where he needs to be, and then you can figure out the rest.
For sure. And I think, again, I'm going to stick by the statements we've already put out, where we believe that we made attempts. We believe that we believe that there was good faith on our part that was not received. I'll leave it like that.
What are some of those things, like high level? Can you? I
would love to dive into some of that, but again, I'm going to leave that to the statements of fact that we made. And I hate to do that, guys, but I want to be very careful to say that this was a private matter between Crystal and Brian and BAM Corporate, and that the opportunities had been there, and I'm not even going to say are gone to fix that. But they, again, go back to the statements that we've made and the posts that we put out there, because that is what I will stand by 100%.
When people ask why, I don't want to call it hush money, but we all know what happens in some worlds. When people ask why you guys didn't just, kind of nick this thing right off the rip, is it because you truly felt that BAM was not guilty? Again, not to use that term, but you guys didn't do much wrong there. And at certain points, like, does it even matter who's at fault here? Because the smear is not worth the whatever amount is owed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. How can I pay somebody who won't work with us?
I don't know. They're claiming I'm just throwing this out there, dude. I'm not being facetious. I work in corporate. This is a side gig for me, but like, I get a number out there that's 200. It's 100. We all know it's worth half of that. Yeah. If you shut up and you sign an NDA, I'll give you 50K and make this go away. Why was that never broached?
I
I know it's not that simple, dude. So I get it.
It's
But
not,
like,
it's not that simple.
yeah,
The evidence that we have, and this, I know I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record, and this is not the human side of this that I want to portray per se, because like there is a human element to all of this, and we like, again, I'm gonna plead on behalf of our franchisees. If you have beef with myself or my brother, great, awesome, talk about it. I can handle that, but leave the innocent people out of this. That's not how justice is run. And I will say again, back to the statements that we made earlier and the written documentation that we put out there, we feel like we made the right attempts, and that was not reciprocated.
So, kind of somebody that's like been able to talk to people and like have a really like good grasp on, you know, where people are at. It feels like basically everyone involved has been like, yeah, we're willing to come to the table. Yeah, we're reasonable. Where, you know, what does it take to make that happen at this point would be my question. Because
like
everyone that I've talked to, yeah, right, like in a public square for everybody to see.
Well, I mean, seriously.
You know, I assume that type of call would be a private deal, but you know, everyone is like, yeah, we want to talk, but everybody says that in their own separate bubble, and so the three bubbles never come together. Kind of my perspective on it.
Yeah, well, and it's hard when, again, going back to the statements,
Sure.
it is hard when there's harassment and threats and other behavior that makes it difficult to have those conversations.
Oh, Reckless Ben has joined. He wants evidence. Well, the evidence. You said the evidence is coming, right? For everything you guys are talking about.
As a matter of fact, what I would recommend, you guys care if I share my screen for a second?
Yeah, I'd love it, dude. Are we doing evidence? I'd love to see it.
Let me read.
This is like a horrible, bad, fake courtroom. I'm loving this. This is great.
Okay. I'm just going to read a statement, and then I'll share my screen for a second. So, BAM just obtained a temporary restraining order from the Utah 4th Judicial Court enjoining Ben Schneider, Brian Mansell, together with all their affiliates, co-conspirators, including Crystal and Benjamin, employees, contractors, agents, and representatives, and anyone acting in concert with them, directly or indirectly, in person, remotely, or online, and restraining them from each of the actions and other misconducts described in the temporary restraining order, including further publications or disseminations of disparaging information. They've been ordered to refrain from further communications and to immediately take down all current publications, such as the terms defined in the verified complaint, and any other video, audio, or other form of publication posted on any online streaming platform by the group of co-defendants, directly or indirectly, in publications and any such communications published by the co-defendants from any online streaming platform or otherwise published that in any way relate to the private legal dispute underlying this matter between Brian and Crystal and the assertions of wrongdoing as described in the verified complaint. The temporary restraining order arises from evidence presented in court showing Schneider and Mansell's conspiracy with Crystal and Benjamin to engage in racketeering and corrupt actions and associated unlawful activities, including defamation, trespass, trade disparagement, deceptive practices, interference with economic relations, among other unlawful actions.
Gotcha.
The court found that plaintiffs. Give me just 1 second. The court found,
because I want to ask you for the TLDR here. Yeah.
Yep, the court found that the plaintiff showed a substantial likelihood of success on the merits respecting these foregoing claims.
Right.
A copy of the TRO was sent to Crystal's counsel within the last hour, and frankly, if she was aware of such, she may as well be in contempt of the court's order as we speak for even showing up on this podcast or on this live stream. As an additional observation, following a face-to-face settlement meeting with Crystal and Benjamin several months ago on February 6th, BAM expressly requested that she produce any and all evidence in her possession relating in any way to her claims. In response, they failed and refused to produce any evidence, including that which she apparently showed you guys tonight and claims to possess. Yeah. At an appropriate time, we'd be happy to address further questions and any misinformation that Crystal and the others have shared, which we hope to review and evaluate further. And then we would ask that you kindly refer to the verified complaints on file with Utah District Court. And we are not trying to try this private matter in social media or on other stages. So now, if you guys would like, let me do this for you real fast and share with you the actual complaint and where you can find further information on that.
But Matt, let me ask you, dude, just guy to guy here. Do you think that's helpful to change the narrative of what's going on right now?
I think that
you're taking care of business. I get it, the corporate side, but when we're telling you in the court of public opinion, by the way, dude, taking down the videos and striking channels and all that is only going to fan the flame. And these videos are already out and they're going to be re-uploaded. You are not stopping that train.
For sure. But what it does do is it stops mistruth and lies from being spread. And frankly, again, at this point, a judge has looked at the evidence and said there's enough here that they have a high likely success or chance of success in winning this court case, which is frank. It's a RICO and racketeering case. We believe that there's organized crime. We believe that there is money being exchanged to essentially induce people to commit crimes.
This was something that Eamon had mentioned to me last night, was that the people that were working with Ben were on his payroll, if you will. And so
it is a big deal because we've faced coordinated attacks across the country, across the brand. And it's the same people. We're seeing the same emails, the same phone numbers, people that that are attacking our franchisees that we have reason to believe are being paid to do so. Now, for further information, if you guys want to see let me share the screen real fast. If you want to look up the court case itself, if you want to see the evidence, if you guys want to take a look and understand where we're coming from, you are welcome. Here's a copy of the restraining order. This is the court case. This is the case number. If you guys want to read into the additional evidence and choose for yourself, understand for yourself, that's where it's at.
Yeah. So kind of everything that would be Bricks and Minifigs side of things has its evidence within this document, or it's going to be presented in court but isn't in this document yet?
No, it has been presented in court, and this is this document is public record. So you're welcome to look up case number 260402353 with Judge Tony F. Raff. So if you guys,
this is the whole thing, or is this just pertaining to the restraining order?
This is our case against Ben Schneider and his cohorts. So
the whole case, or just to grant the restraining order?
No, this is the whole case.
Okay, and this is
the initial filing for the case. This is the
yeah, it's not the deluxe. It's not the box set yet. But where's the, sorry, we have to do a little comedy.
No, for sure.
This isn't the GWP. All right, look. All right, Matt, I'm gonna ask you a question here. This is a $100 super chat. There's a little bit of language in here, but it's a friend of the show, so we have to answer. Somebody gives us $100. I want to hear your answer for this. Okay, so I apologize. A little language, but it's not horrible. It's more of a statement. It is you and your coworkers handling the situation that has led to these innocent business owners and their families getting death threats. Get the F out of our hobby, bozo. The last part probably unnecessary, but he's saying like the lack of reaction is what led to it. What say you to that? I know people are like, get a little maniacal and stuff like this, and they should not be. I agree with you. Nobody should be threatened on this. But what do you say about basically saying, to paraphrase, the lack of response or whatever is potentially what causes you not putting out that fire early enough is a partial cause to these reactions from people?
Yeah, I tend to think that people who punch first and ask questions later end up not in the right place. And I think in this case, we have tried to be steady. We have tried to be fair and accurate and evaluate our systems. Have there been things that we could have done different? For sure. But I think that we have, again, laid out our factual side of the case and the things that we are standing by. And I think that is not something that comes in a quick soundbite to appease people. The truth is not a simple thing to find.
Yeah. Certainly,
Again, from like a third party perspective, that's where I've found myself is like, I don't know where I set. So I've been trying to find it. I've been, going in circles on this, and I'm sure for you guys, it's been even tougher. It's, very much your business and your life. And so who cares what I think? Ultimately, it's, going to come down to the court. But, I'm like, just as a third party observer, just trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Like, yeah, that's not fun either.
Well, and from the public perspective, it's easy to hate on the business. It's easy to hate on the nameless, faceless people. But I got to tell you, we're not nameless, faceless people. We are ingrained in community. Bricks and Minifigs is built on community. I don't know how many of you guys have gone to a store, but when you walk in, there's an energy, there's a vibe, there is something special about being in there. And I get to see it on my end, where we have, again, 300 plus franchisees at this point that come to our office, I get to interview them, get to meet them, shake their hands, look in their eyes. These people care about their communities.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost 90% of our franchise is single unit owners. These aren't people going out buying 30 subways. These are people who are trying to build a place where kids in their area can come and can share a passion. So yeah, you want to be mad at me? You think that I've done something wrong? I can disagree. We can work through that. There's processes in place to manage that. But don't hurt your community. Don't hurt these people. I had a franchisee reach out to me and tell me that her 14-year-old daughter was getting texts and threats because of this. Okay, that is wildly inappropriate. That has crossed borders.
For sure.
I will stand on that hill to my last breath. These franchisees are good people, and they deserve to be treated with the dignity and respect. These people put their money where their mouth is. They went out and started something. They deserve that respect. So you want to hate me? You want to hate my brother? Great, go for it. But you back the fuck off of these franchisees.
All right.
Yeah.
I respect the passion. Like I said, I'm glad you guys are responding now and you're starting to show some teeth and you're getting into the game. That's my takeaway from this. I'm glad you guys are, because you're right. It is easy to hate and you guys do have to there is a strategy in order that you have to get, put together, and comms getting out. And we all understand that, but we're looking forward to the evidence and seeing what's what in this for sure. And that is why, and Ryan was getting roasted before he got here. Like, he's a shill, he's a this. Everyone knows you're going to be 100% team BAM, and rightfully so. People are wanting to understand, both sides of the coin here. So, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that there's a latest documents and everything. Yeah, Ryan, go.
I have another question that I guess could use clarity for people, because this was something that Eamon just is in our contract. It said that consignment services were allowed,
sure.
but Eamon said that meant something else. I mean, again, you can explain to people can believe it or not, I guess, is kind of where I'm at. But that's apparently, it doesn't mean consigning sets, and that there's a separate handbook. And that's, again, these are the types of things that gave me pause before I made my video today. And I was like, well, maybe, there is more, and there's more meaning here that I don't quite fully understand.
So if you look at the document we published today, there is the language. The franchise agreement is a thick legal document, and we don't train off the franchise agreement. We train off the owner's operator manual, right? Operations manual. And there's a portion of the franchise agreement that states that regardless of what the franchise agreement says, services and standards may change from time to time, and those will be updated and reflected, and you are bound by those standards and changes in the operations manual. And in the operations manual, the 2003 operations manual that was in place at the time, look at the blog post we had.
You said 2003, but to be clear, you meant 2023.
I'm sorry, 2023.
Yeah.
It explicitly states in the owner's operations manual, which is what we use to train our franchisees and what they're supposed to follow the procedures from. We do not consign. We do not pawn. That is the standard. That is what we live on.
Yeah.
Emphatically.
So you guys have access to like the sales data and seeing receipts, but until currently you didn't see the fair to say you didn't see like the origin of where the sets came from. So obviously there were royalties earned or accrued on some of these sets in question, but you didn't get to see like the source of the purchase. Is that why you didn't say like, whoa, these are consigned, we can't do that? Is that fair to say?
I mean, that's a tough question to answer, and that's a much more in-depth question that I don't know that I want to get into all the details and aspects of right here, right now. But
you understand the question, right? It's
totally
pretty clear.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you can't see why because you don't have the data right now. Is that what?
It is a more nuanced question than that, and I have to be careful to not stray too far from. My attorney's watching this, going, hey, like stick to the.
Shout out to attorney. We're trying to handle this well. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to make like
there's an answer there. I'm happy with his blessing. We can get into that later, but there's an answer there.
Okay. Yeah. Any other? I mean, we've had you on for a bit, Matt. We're gonna have other folks in to weigh in on it. You guys have any? By the way, thank you for your time. I know it's been a crisis and wild, but Ryan.
Someone asked me what they texted in and asked me to ask. So not a question from my own point of view, I guess, but like why Crystal had her store taken away. And then also like if you could clarify the timeline, because I believe in the video it presents as it's like the same day they come in and take the store. When that may or may not have been the case. And so I think there's some.
Yeah.
I need to be careful on some of these things. I don't take much stock in the purported timeline of said video, and I will just put it that way, or many of those details. Again, I believe we stated. I need to go back and double check the blog. Did you guys read that earlier tonight? Correct.
On Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Was there? Did we talk about Crystal's termination?
Just say yes.
Yes, as a franchise. Yes. No.
Okay, I'm at the point where I'm getting text now saying.
Hey Matt, this is why everyone prepared. Listen, we read everything you guys put out, and so if Crystal's termination was covered, we talked about it. As a franchise, yeah, we talked about it.
Sure.
Yeah, I just was asking if there was more info there to share. Again, but if you're sticking to whatever they said there, if we get it, I guess.
Be interesting to hear her answer that question.
Oh, here it is. We have some. All right. Crystal admitted she got a phone call the morning of the takeover, and she was notified before that. So she's making it sound like it was like pretty bang, pretty bam, pardon the pun.
No, there were multiple communications strung out over multiple days.
Okay, you guys have all that prep too. Like so again, by the way, we opened this thing tonight, Matt. You said you watched it, or you heard about it, or whatever. But like we only had a few minutes with it, and I think for a lot of us, it's like you follow the trail of the sets, and it's like what happened with those, and that's why we're like, how much time was between this? Where were the sets at the time? Were they off site? We heard about security issues. Like, at the end of the day, the mystery of the sets and where they ended up is I think that's what drew people in. I said it earlier, the amount, who's involved. You got the father-son dynamic. There's so many compelling things as to why this blew up. You guys had a little bit of heat on you over some other stuff. Like it was unfortunately a perfect tsunami coming in.
For sure. Yeah. Some questions. I think I'm not straying too far to ask some questions.
Sure. Oh yeah, please.
Let's ask some questions.
Right.
How long was this consignment agreement in place for?
Again, I haven't seen it. I think it's been published somewhere. Yeah.
I'm just asking questions for you guys. I'm not.
No, please. Yeah. I like what you're doing here. So I think
earlier tonight already moved.
2023 it started.
I heard 27 or 28,000 he was paid out on.
I would take a look at the documents in our complaint, our verified complaint.
Yeah.
There's some questions to ask there yourselves and say, okay, great. What was the state of the store the night of the takeover? She purportedly showed some evidence, and frankly, we have some as well. Take a look at that complaint, that verified complaint.
Where's
there
this
is-
posted, by the way, for the people who want to look at it?
You have to search through the judicial records for the state of Utah. Again,
Let me comment so that people can see. If there's a link of it or something, we can.
I don't know.
It's all good.
Again,
Maybe we can share it, post it on your
sure.
social, whatever. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'll throw my screen again just for a sec here. So if people want to write the number down, they're welcome to go take a look.
All right.
Case number 260402353.
All right, guys, screenshot it, and then you'll Google Utah and that, or how do you get there?
Yeah, Utah.
We're all a bunch of dum-dums. We have no idea how to do any of this.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people are talking about, and again, we appreciate your time and everything. Oh, ask these questions to Brian. Let's see. What do you think about and again, it's filmed from one perspective, but the look of the police, I mean, obviously that's another compelling thing about this. Like, do you feel like that you're laughing about it, but people are pretty upset about it? Do you feel like you really doctored the shit out of that footage or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to, again, I would go read the verified complaint because,
see, people are like,
okay, let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. Somebody comes pounds on your door relentlessly for 2 weeks. Somebody goes to your immediate family's door. They're pounding on their door and costing them. Somebody pretends to be a UPS delivery driver and tries to step in house. Somebody impersonates an ecclesiastical leader of yours and tries to come into your home. What would you do?
were they trying to serve papers? People are saying.
No. What papers could? That's the job of a deputy, of a sheriff.
Well, he had this girl in the car. Was she not real? Was she an actor? Or you don't know?
I'm gonna be careful. I gotta be careful not coming.
They said they tried to serve. I mean, and they showed evidence. Footage.
It's very easy to say whatever you want to say and control one side of the narrative here. But you guys, let me ask you guys again. Like, if somebody was harassing you, and you can look up Reckless Ben's arrest records and look for what they're for. That's public record. So I'm not saying anything that isn't public record. Look it up.
Were all those arrests justified, though? We don't know, right? Just because the score of a game is 79-0 doesn't mean there wasn't some tomfoolery going on, right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, dude? But this is the way everybody's looking at it. So, dude, you posted it. I want to
take a look at our verified complaint and read through all the testimony and the statements that are made in there and judge for yourself. That's what I'll say to that one.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
That's there's about 50% of the population here in Utah is LDS, Latter-day Saint, right, Mormon.
There's a lot of attacks on that too, by the way. I think a lot of people don't understand that culture, and so things that are mysterious are looped in. That's a big part of it too.
But I can guarantee you that the Salem Police Department is not, and that's description of collusion between the police and us and the church. Ridiculous.
All right, we have a $200 donation. I got to read this one
Jesus
to you.
Christ.
All right, Matt, this is a record here. Reposting the simple question, Gary. I apologize if I missed this, dude. I've never given a shit about Legos. Which, by the way, the amount of people, Matt, even you have to giggle the amount of times people say Legos. It's I'm like, come on. You had a legal right. I know it bothers the shit out of Ryan. You had a legal right to subordinate the original owner of the Legos. The question is, are you going to flex the legal loophole, or are you going to honor the original contract to save the brand?
I stand by statements we made earlier today, and I'm gonna refer to those and say that that is our position. And I know people aren't. You probably some of the people online have not read our comments.
Yeah, it's new. It's fresh. And by the way, again, nooch guy, nooch noodle here. I'm a noodle.
Yeah, sure.
Any flavor. It's good that you guys have put some stuff out on the defense or offense or whatever you want to call it. It's good.
As we have stated, we are still willing to do the right thing. I'll put it that way. With okay, I'm trying to think how to say this. It has to be done the right way though. And intimidation factors and third party agitators are not the right way.
So I often see this type of when I talk about Lego sets being bad, like, you don't do it the right way. I guess my question is, what is the right way? Like, what would get you there? Would be where I would be wondering.
Yeah. We have repeatedly. Well, okay, I got it.
So I guess ignoring anything that's happened in the past, like from your current position, what
that's
defines
what we're trying to get on.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, I want to know where the sets went to. In our statements, we said that we did not have the sets, and that I stand by that statement. We, in our verified complaint, have talked about the status of the store, the amount of inventory that was on hand in the store, and the amount of Star Wars inventory that was on hand in the store. And I'm going to say go read that because
is there a list of that inventory anywhere? Or is it just you have? I know I read there's a dollar amount range, but is there a list?
Good question.
Because I think that would be super helpful for someone like me to look at me okay, these all 30 of these 31 sets were things that he happened to have on it. Like statistically, the odds seem pretty low that would all line up.
Ryan will do a really professional job.
I know Star Wars sets. Yeah.
Ryan, he'll put together a quality video.
Have you ever seen a stack of $200,000 worth of Lego sets, new in box?
I have.
Ryan's best every.
Another question to ask yourself. What does that look like? And is that go take a look at the verified complaint, go take a look at the images there, and ask yourself, is that $200,000 total of Lego? Is there $200,000 worth of Star Wars Lego?
Well, we talked about Ryan, say what you're going to say, but I've talked about value versus what you're going to pay. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, I'm not too bogged down in that, Sean. I can get that.
I'm so bogged. Yeah.
I know you're bogged. But my understanding too is that minifigs are included in this debacle, if you will, and so those wouldn't be included with sets, but are part of the value, even though they aren't explicitly listed in the spreadsheet.
Go take a look at the verified complaint and judge for yourself. I'll leave it at that.
I do want to. I haven't said a whole lot, but I know it was mentioned earlier that Ben has a track record of being in trouble with it. I just want to mention that every one of his arrests are linked to exposing people scamming and scandals and stuff like that. I just want to put that out there.
I think that is a
he's not like a criminal. I just want to put that out there.
I don't know if you guys realize that it is an actual felony to impersonate a postal worker. And now I know in the court of public opinion that may be one thing, but there's reasons why that's a felony.
That's what this is, Matt. If you take one thing away from talking to us tonight,
I get it. When perception is reality,
you gotta walk the line. I get it, but when you guys say that, people are just like, oh, come on, give the guy his money. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing.
When somebody walks into a store and tells an employee, "I'm here to kill you,"
no, that's stupid. And the thing you said before, that hit close to home. Like that happened to my kid. They're dead too. I understand what you're saying.
That's not funny.
No, that's no nonsense. Yeah, I get it.
Goes past when somebody's trying to force their way into your home. That goes past the line, and actions have consequences. And that, again, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, 100%. All right. Final one. When it comes to your franchise being hurt so badly over this publicity, why is corporate not making things right, regardless of what happened? Who's right or wrong to protect your other stores that you care so much about? And I think,
go ahead.
but you're noticing the trend here. I alluded to it earlier, and now we're getting people paying crazy money to ask you that again. No, but they're asking you that again because like all of us are just like, dude, if we're worried about the threats and we're worried about the shakedowns, and we're worried about this, like, why didn't we just do a better job making it go away? And will you be better next time? It feels like you guys are planning to.
You know what I've never once received from anybody in this market in this situation, even though we've asked. I've never received a signed copy of the consignment agreement.
Right.
I've never received, despite asking for it, a true up of any documentation, receipts, or anything. So how do I even know what would be the right thing to do when they're at every opportunity where we've asked for
would you not have
has not been provided?
Would you not have those receipts from having access to your sales system?
Sure.
Like,
I can
that's
see
what
what
you just have.
I can see what is sold. I don't know what he's been paid.
So that's all between her and him.
It's between her and him. And when somebody walks in off the street and says, "Hey, all this is mine, paying me $40,000," I go, "Cool. Show me some receipts. Show me some evidence."
But while that's happening, Rome is burning. I keep getting back to this.
I get it, but what? Yes, I'm aware, but it's tough because this process has been exacerbated across almost 2 years now, and it's difficult again when the third-party tactics become so hostile and so aggressive that it makes it difficult to open bridges of communication.
So you guys have been. So someone just called this out. We got people on both sides of the fence. They're saying you guys did respond accordingly early, but it's just not as highlighted now because more has happened since then. Like, did you guys address this early days? Would you say?
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like we did.
Okay. Take a breath.
I'm trying to again, you guys. This is tough because like.
Matt, get fired over it. Say what you want to say.
Yeah, well, I did, and I need to apologize. I don't swear very often, and
I like when you do though because it's fucking real. Let's go. What do you got?
But I'm just again, it is difficult to stick. How do I put this? I feel like in general, I try to be a good person, and I try to do the right thing, and I feel like I can go to bed at night saying I tried to do the right thing. I'll put it that. I strive to be a good person, and I have tried my best to do the right thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm, but I feel like that is where I'm at with this, is that we have tried to do the right thing throughout this whole process.
Here's where we're at on behalf of the community. We want this fixed. It's our little dorky corner of the universe. We want this fixed. So whatever that takes, self-reflection, corporate reflection, revising the rules and regulations, the agreements, we want it fixed and we want it to go away. We want everyone to leave this thing happy.
Yep.
I guess that's what I want. I can't speak for everyone. Some people want you guys done and burned and all that. I hope we can just get like a nice, happy, peaceful resolution to where kids and adults and everyone in between can hop into a BAM, get a few figs, and have a great day and carry on. And I also hope that there are reparations for the collection being lost, regardless of who's at fault. If it's individuals, if it's franchisees, your guys' logo is on the wall, and it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do. It says BAM at the top of it, and you're going to be associated. I talked about, like, I have kids. I'm responsible for my lineage, no matter what, and they're part of that. It's got to be fixed. And I hope you guys get in a room, sort it out, and then throw a big BAM brick party afterwards. Whatever needs to happen.
If I can just give one last shout out, our franchisees are the best. These are hardworking.
There's some great folks out there, dude. Let's get them fixed. Let's fix this.
If you enjoy Lego and you enjoy community, go just tell the owner of your local Bricks and Minifigs that they're doing a great job, because this has been a hellacious week for them, and undeservedly so for them. So give them some support and throw them a bone. They are amazing people.
All right. I agree. I've been kind of great to BAM owners, employees. Guys, thank you so much, Matt, for joining the show. Get some rest. Figure it out. Get everybody to the table, man.
Okay.
Communication. That's the deal.
Yeah, I would like to see everybody, make it right. Like, get together. Like, everyone says they want to get together. I'd like to see everyone get together and make it right, however that may be. So that would be my. But yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Good night.